story about Monica. Monica is a chicken. She's not just any chicken, she's our chicken. So I guess you can call her Monica Hoffman. Rainer and I have an agreement that if it has a name, it's not food. We can eat the eggs, but we can't eat the chicken. I can't believe how much joy having chickens has brought to our home. If I knew how easy they were to keep, we would have had them years ago. The children get all egg-sighted to go out in the morning and collect the eggs and compare the sizes of them and try to guess which chicken laid which egg. Last week, it was late and we all happened to still be awake in the night. We've been dealing with some things and going through a bit of a difficult time. And so we were still up. And all of a sudden we heard the most heart-wrenching crying coming out of the coop. And Matteo and Mikhail came running down the passage saying, "The chickens are being attacked! The chickens are being attacked!" And Reino got up and ran with them outside as fast as they could. Mikhail was crying and my heart just sank.
So that night what I felt was not much of what everybody else felt, but so we're just sitting there peacefully, happy, not thinking of anything bad, just a quiet night. And I just hear them go crazy. And I realized it was an attack. I assumed it was an attack, and it was. And I just started crying.
Why does it seem like it doesn't just rain, it pours? And sometimes it hails too. And sometimes those hailstones are as big as a cricket ball. Reino got there first. It was one of the dogs belonging to the people that live on the property with us. We're currently living in a temporary home. We're renting temporarily. And somebody had left the gate unlatched. The dog managed to push the gate open and get through. And then he managed to get through underneath the second fence and into the coop. Normally at that time of night the dog is inside with his owners, but his owners weren't home. I couldn't bear to go and look. My children were distraught. They were sobbing inside. And when Matteo came to fetch the machete, my heart just absolutely sank. I didn't know how to deal with this. That now somebody had to take the life of that chicken. It's not easy to take a life. And we were just absolutely at a loss. I have a loss for words at the feelings and emotions that took place. I was so sad for the chicken, and I didn't know yet how many had been hurt, if we'd lost all of them, and I didn't know yet that it was Monica. Mikhail said to me that he would have rather slaughtered the chicken and eaten it than to have it die just so senselessly. Such wisdom coming from a child.
So my dad and my brother went outside for a long time, and I'm sitting inside crying and crying, and I didn't know what to do. I was broken down. And after a while I went out that night to go and see her, but she had limped back into the coop, my dad said. So I asked him a few questions and I went back inside. And then my dad came inside asking for the machete. And I didn't know then how bad the pain was or what was going on. And then we were told that we were going to give her a chance. And I was just full of hope and just wishing so much that she would survive. And then the other days, I was just so joyful on how she was growing and how she was taking care of herself. And today, she's looking much healthier and stronger, and I'm just so happy. So that's my feelings from me, and that's how I felt when she got attacked.
Reino and Matteo were outside for what felt like a lifetime, while I sat with sobbing, heartbroken children. And eventually Reino came in and he said, "I'm going to give her a chance and see if she makes it." Her neck was hanging, her feathers ripped out. She limped. But we chose to hang on to hope. We've been watching a homesteading family on YouTube called Thousands of Roots. And in one of their videos, they decided to give a gosling a chance when it looked like he had no hope. And it is because of that video that we learned that a chicken can, or a gosling or a duck, can actually survive something like this. And because it didn't seem like she was in much pain, we wanted to see if she would survive. And so here we were, for the sake of our children, praying for the healing of Monica. The next morning, Mikhail just wanted to see her, and Mateo advised against it, saying, "Mom, it's not a pretty sight." In fact, to this day, Mateo hasn't found it in him yet to go and visit Monica. Mikhail insisted though, and so Reino went with him, not knowing if Monica had made it through the night. But she did. In fact, we felt like if we had killed her, it would have been a senseless loss. It would have been unnecessary.
When I heard the noise, I didn't know what to think other than to get outside and see what was happening. I was worried. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was a snake or the dogs, because they were making a lot of noise and my heart just sank. I was so scared and shaking when I got to the door. I struggled to unlock it because I was shaking so much. I couldn't get the key into the hole, and then turning it, and when I got it open I ran to go and see what was happening. When I saw Monica, it was, I don't know, I just turned around. I couldn't bear it. It wasn't a very nice sight. I didn't think that she's gonna make it at all, but now I'm glad that we gave her a chance to live, and that I'm also glad that she's still here with us today.
Mikhail came in and very excitedly gave me the report that they'd managed to give Monica some water with honey, and then she drank it, and she took sips of the water and honey throughout the day as they gave it to her. The next day, Mikhail came in with a report that Monica had eaten from his hand, and Malia and Mikhail decided that if Monica survives this, they are renaming her Miracle.
When I heard about what has happened last night, when I heard the grumbling, and I told my 10-year-old brother what it sounded like, and told him to hear what it sounded like. And then we rushed and told the parents, and then I just sat down wondering what was going on. I tried to get some sleep, but I just couldn't go to sleep. And then I just went to the dining room, sat down on a chair and started crying. When it was morning, I just woke up and I felt so sorry for Monica, and I was so sad about her.
Our friends joined us in prayer for Monica. Each day she has improved, and each day she has pressed forward to do something she hadn't done the day before. She didn't give up, and nor did we, and we were surprised actually how quickly she was recovering. It's been absolutely amazing to watch how Monica instinctively keeps her head between her shoulders. It's like it was a splint to keep her neck in place as it heals. I get my updates from Mikhail every day, and today Reino said that he believes Monica is going to be just fine. She is walking and going outside with the other hens to eat and drink, and every day she spends a little bit more time outside. In many ways, with what we're currently personally experiencing as a family, we can relate to Monica right now. She was vulnerable. It was night, and she was in the coop when the attack happened. She was surrounded by her own kind. There was no sense of any danger. The roosters who protect didn't know what was coming. It was night, it was peaceful, there was no trouble in sight. That dog most certainly didn't alert the roosters to what his intentions were. Have you ever seen a rooster protecting his girls from danger? I wouldn't want to be that dog had those roosters been ready for him. Monica was content the 1 minute. Everything she needed, she had. And within a moment, she was ripped apart. Feathers out, neck hanging, distraught, broken. There looked like there was no hope for her, no hope of recovery. But Reino, Mateo, and Mikhail decided to fight for her, and with her, they decided to come alongside her and care for her and nurse her. She had those who love her, flank her, encourage her, and not give up. Every day, Monica does the next thing. She takes a sip of water, and the next day, she takes 2 sips. She eats a bit of food, and the next day, she goes outside to eat food. She takes a step, and the next day, she takes a few steps. Monica is not giving up. Monica is choosing life. She could have chosen to die. She could have chosen to stop eating and just not live anymore. She's still wounded and will have to heal. Broken, and her feathers have not grown back yet. This healing will take time. And in time, her feathers will have regrown, and she will be restored and strong again. And this will be before the winter and before the cold, when she needs those feathers most to cover her. Today, if you're feeling defeated and featherless, I encourage you, as my friend is encouraging me daily, get up